Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Sulphur Blade, and I've been trying to channel my inner Bob Ross in a free-to-play game known as SuchArt that you can pick up on Steam for the wonderful price of free. However, even though this game is pretty good in a lot of ways, I'm finding it very hard to channel my inner Bob Ross, and I will show you why here real fast. So there's a lot of things that you can do in this game, and there's a lot of things you can't really do in this game. So let's start off by, well, what would Bob Ross do? So we'll watch a little bit of Bob Ross here.
Sky that's just full of warm colors that, as I say, sort of makes you feel good when you look at it. So you're making little X's, little crisscross strokes go all the way across the canvas, like so. Just about like so. Maybe we'll have a little water in here. I love water. I think it's so gorgeous. And it's very easy to paint in this technique. And we'll reflect a little of that color right down into the water.
Alright, so for the most part we can replicate that. So I'm going to pick up, I'm going to go to 10, I'm going to drop this spray paint. I'll pick up this guy here, I think. And I will... That's not quite the right yellow I wanted to use. Let's see if we can't get a better yellow here. How about this one? That's the exact same yellow, isn't it? It is. Oops. The game started me with a different yellow that was right here, but I've used it up. Is there some on this palette over here? There is. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little bit of that. And what you need to do is you need to empty your brush. You're going to notice that when you start painting, your brush is going to be painting a very solid color, and it's not going to do any of the Bob Ross stuff. So you got to unload the brush for a bit, and then you come over here and you can do some Bob Ross X's, if you will, without overpowering the painting with a solid color. But it's a lot of farting around. Okay, and so we'll just kind of scrape it across here. And then we'll replicate the whole water thing. Alright, and so we'll go a little lower here. And we're just doing the X's, and then we're gonna drag across it lightly and spread out that paint as best we can. Alright, then Bob Ross is going to want us to use a different color, of course, so let's go ahead and watch.
And then let's tell you what, without cleaning the brush, let's just go into a little bit of the yellow ochre. Once again, we do not need a gray.
Alright, a darker yellow. We don't have a yellow ochre. We have, well, we have this. So we'll go into that, and again we'll kind of empty our brush a little bit over here, and then we'll go in and we'll do his X patterns as best we can up along in here. And we'll drag that along. The darker colors seem to smear longer. If that's a good term to use. So we'll empty that off a little bit, and then we'll go in here on the bottom into the water. And we'll just kind of alright. Then I think he's going to want us to use red.
Great deal of paint here, just a little paint. Go right above the yellow.
But if you see how smooth it's coming on his canvas,
A little X's.
ours is obviously not anywhere near as smooth. And that's because the brush empties, or the brush has too much paint on it. There's no... Can't get the bob brush color effect because your brush is either too full of paint or it doesn't have any paint. So now he's going to go in with the red. The red is really difficult. Yeah, to get the light pink effect that he wants, you need to use very little red. And again, like I said, it's hard to... It's very hard. So you see how dark red that is? You really got to kind of get rid of it till you bleed off a lot of that red. And then you can get in here. But as you can see, there's not much red left, right? So you get over here, you bleed off the red as best you can, and then... Hey, come back here, painting. And kind of scrape it in there. And again, when you scrape it in there like he does, it doesn't really blend in, does it? So, my resulting opinion is this game is not Bob Ross certified. But you can attempt to try to do some of the Bob Ross techniques. They work to some extent. But not totally. One of the biggest problems is your knife. This is the only knife you give you. They don't give you the handy dandy Bob Ross knife, which we'll show you here shortly.
But too much of it will set your world on fire, so all we want is just a nice pinkish, reddish glow up here in the sky. That's all we're looking for today. And while I have that on the brush, we'll just add a little of that down here.
Just skip to it.
Just going to reflect the same, so you can just let it go.
He's putting
Let
clouds
your
in.
imagination take you wherever you want to go. But all we're doing is just tapping
Right in here, I think, is when he starts putting the mountains in.
Right. I think maybe today in this little painting, let's build us a little mountain. For that, we'll use some black.
And see the nice little
blue,
putty knife he
some
has?
Crimson, maybe some Van Dyke brown. So we have black, Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, little Van Dyke brown. Pull the paint out as flat as you can get it. Really get tough with it. Cut across, get our little roll of paint. Lives right on the edge of the knife. Now you have to make your first major decision. Where does your mountain live? Maybe in our world? Yep, it does now.
See how very precise that knife is?
With a very firm pressure.
Because you have
just
an
really
edge.
push the paint right into the...
Well, the putty knife you get in the game here, whoops, has no preciseness whatsoever. We'll just grab some black and we'll pretend like we're going to try to draw a mountain. But all we can do is that. We can just do the drag it down effect. We don't have any drawing capacity. Although it does do some cool things. But yeah, so if we go back to Bob Ross, he gets to the point where he's going to kind of drag the snow over the mountain.
This is a chance to really get tough.
When he switches over to white,
Take out all your frustration.
and he's going to tell you to use a very gentle hand.
Get a little bit midnight black. I want a grayish color.
This is the part here.
So just black and white. Like that. There, just mix it a little. But I want to leave it sort of marble, so there's a lot of things happening in there. Pull the paint out. Once again, our little roll of paint right on the edge of the knife. Touch. No pressure. And just follow right down.
So you can sort of do this part of Bob Ross's style, is you can kind of drag snow, but you don't really have any fine-tooth control. It's just, damn it. It's just kind of wherever it happens to go. So we'll drag some grass instead here, and we'll pretend like we're doing the Bob Ross thing.
Just be a whisper that floats across here.
Now, obviously,
And by applying no pressure, it allows this paint to
it
flow.
sort of does it,
Leaves all these little holes in it. And that's what
but it
makes
obviously doesn't do it.
See how I can-
So,
It's very simple.
if you're, I don't know, hoping to be
Now,
Bob
let's
Ross
put
in a
shadow
video
color
game,
for that. We'll use a little white.
it's not really going to happen in this game.
Brush and blue.
Paintbrush, this is your fine tooth, if you will, ability to draw, which is pretty fine, but again, it's kind of like, you know, the same amount of
What color you want to
fineness that you would have in, say, paint. It's only so fine.
Of all kinds of little shadows in there.
And then,
And just a touch more blue to
you know,
make
we
it
have this normal brush here. We'll, I don't know, do some craziness here. Get wild.
Very highlight. Its own individual shadow. If it doesn't have its own shadow, it just sort of lays there dead. It won't play with you. There. Yeah. And you can sort of play back and forth. Maybe you can go back in here and just change the shape of this a little bit so it has a little more character to it. You can do that because on this piece of canvas,
So if we add a little green in there,
power, you can literally
but
do anything.
kind of get rid of the green at first.
You have ultimate power on this piece of canvas. Shoot,
How well does it blend?
power of everything but the garbage. But here,
So
this is my world.
it does do some blending, as you can see, but you know, it's kind of like a crapshoot when it blends and when it doesn't.
There, put a little shadow right underneath there. Okay, maybe here and there a little something like that. Now we'll take a clean, dry brush and just tap. I want to diffuse the base of this mountain so it looks like it's sort of laying in the mist down here. But always follow the angles. Follow those angles. There, and then lift upward. Just enough to take out the tap marks and to blend everything.
That's not even doing anything.
Very
Well, it
exciting.
is when I get down to this part of it.
That's all we need. Tell you what.
Let's throw some
Sometimes
paint
it's a
in.
lot of fun. Let's do this. You begin seeing things here. I like to have a lot of depth in my paintings. So we'll just put another little range of mountains right here. Just drop them in the same way. And watch how it pushes that first range back. That's simple. Put them in. Same way. Exact way as we did the others. Scrape off the excess paint. Blend them out. There we
So
go.
as you can see, there is
Something about like
some blending of color, obviously.
back to our little highlight colors, the gray color. Same thing. Follow this.
So there is quite a bit you can do
You gotta make those little noises you just didn't. Maybe this one
in this game,
right down like that.
but
See, we could pull it over here.
you lack a lot of control at the same time.
Angles are very important. If light's coming through here, it's only going to strike at a given angle. So most of your highlights will be in the same basic angle, and most of your shadows will be in the same basic angle, depending on where your light's coming from. There. once again. Just tap this a little to create the illusion of mist at the base. And lift up.
Add a little red in here to create
Let's have
a
some
bit
fun.
of brown. Get rid of some of the excess.
We just use
Okay.
that same old brush. I'm going to take a little bit white, a little bit of that mountain color, mix them together. And I'm just sort of pushing the brush, get a little color in it. Maybe way back here in the background there's some little foothills. The little foothills can be made just by doing something as simple as this, just tapping downward. Just tapping downward. There. That's all there is to it. Gently. Little 1/4-inch strokes. Very small. Lift upward. It'll make it look like little trees that live way back in the distance. Far, far away. Pulling straight down. Straight down. It's most important to come straight down. And then gently coming across will make the indication of instant reflections. Sometimes it's fun to have several layers here, and you can do that just by doing it the same way. There, tap in some basic little shapes, pop it up, make it look like little things far away, and it'll put in another little reflection. As you come forward, each layer should get a little bit darker. A little bit darker. Shoot, I tell you what, let's have some real fun here. Maybe there's another one that comes way out. There, something like that. Something about like that. Once again, we need our little reflection, so just give it a little downward pull. Go across. And wherever. I don't know. You sort of have to make up your mind. Each one of these, though, will create another plane in your painting and help that illusion of distance and depth. I'm going to take a little sap green, a little yellow, just tap the brush the same way.
Blue in
And as things
here.
get closer to us, we
Gotta
begin to
get
see a
rid
little
of it
color.
there.
So we can just, I'm using the same old dirty brush, just add a little yellow to it, some sap and green. We can just begin tapping in the indication of little colors that you can see. When things are far away from you, it's difficult to see color. Maybe just a hint of green back here. There we go. Now, take a little touch of the liquid white, put it on here, pull it out very flat, and I'm going to add a small amount of the bright red, very, very small amount. Cut across. I'm going to go right up in here. And just act like you're trying to cut a hole right in the canvas. There, take out really all your hostilities here. Just really get tough with it. Just back and forth like you're trying to saw a hole through there. This will create the illusion of a little water line. Also is a nice light area between the darks. It separates. Makes everything really stand out and look good. Okay. Maybe let's have some fun. Clean off the spot to work here. Let's take some black. We'll use some Prussian blue, phthalo green, alizarin crimson. There we go. We just mix up a pile of color. All right, let me grab a little brush here. Maybe we'll just use a little fan brush. You could do this with a 1-inch brush.
Alright, let's grab some green.
Just use a little fan brush today. Load a lot of color into the bristles. And let's have in our world some happy little evergreen trees.
Drag.
Just use the corner of the brush, and as you work down the tree, push harder and harder, bending the bristles. Down here, oh, we're really getting tough. We're just bending it all the way down to the furrow. Get tough. Show it who's boss. These little evergreens live right in the fan brush. You just sort of times have to really get forceful and push them out. There we go. Another one. And you decide how many trees you want. You decide. Really, all we're trying to do here is show you a technique. We're using the patterns and the tracings. Strictly up to you, because you can learn to compose as you paint.
So yeah, very hard to control.
You're just practicing. But if you like to use patterns, there's certainly nothing wrong with that. You can trace your pattern in here, put liquid white over it, and the liquid white is still transparent enough that you can see the tracing through it, if you like to do that.
Let's get a little
Personally, I enjoy the freedom
that.
of not having a pattern. glitter.
that.
Where you can learn to compose and create your paintings.
Did I actually grab it?
And you look at them, you'll begin to see things. And with practice, you'll be able to see more and more.
Actually, can I? No, that's right.
Every day I get letters from
I want to
fantastic
fine-tune
people in the
this.
United States and several foreign countries. And they send us pictures of paintings that you wouldn't believe. And they've never had an art lesson. All they've done is they've watched the TV series and they've learned. And you can too. Hey, let's grab an old 1-inch brush. Maybe we'll have some bushes down here at the base of these trees. Just sort of push upward with the brush and make the indication of some happy little bushes that live right down here. Watch here. Turn the brush over. We'll tap in a little color underneath. I know you're saying, Bob, you have really messed it up this time, but you watch. One of the most fantastic things about this whole technique is the fact that we don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents, because very soon, you learn to work with anything that happens. And it takes all the fear out of painting. There. We just tap some of that into there too.
This is
As
horrible.
you probably figured out by now.
Oh well.
This is going to end up being
Let's
some
add a
gorgeous
little
reflections that go right
darker
into
in
that.
there.
So we just take a 2-inch brush, grab, and pull straight down, very gently. Just pull it straight down. Over here, straight down. And then go across. And we have instant reflections. That easy. Now, I have several of each brush going, so I don't have to spend all my time just washing brushes. Dip the brush into a little liquid white. Be right back. Grab a little sap green, a little yellow. Let's go right up in here. And let's just put some little
Mixed
sparkles
with
out
some
in these
red.
bushes. Look at their sun's playing through there, just zinging through. Little yellow ochre here and there, little Indian yellow. Occasionally, a little touch of the bright red. And just vary your colors. Vary your colors. There we go. And work in layers. Do one little bush at a time. Don't get greedy. Sometimes it starts working so well. We decide to do all our bushes at once. And then there's no separation between them. No depth. Poor little bush just gets lost there. There. A little heavier in the yellow ochre. Just enough to change the flavor a little bit. Make it stand out as an individual. There we go. Now, on the other side, we'll do the same basic thing. Sap green, cad yellow, Indian yellow, yellow ochre. There. Grab a little bit more of the green. Look at that. Do you ever think you could make all these gorgeous bushes that easy? You really can. You really and truly can. There.
Now,
Okay. And maybe
if I was to empty this
let's
brush,
just reflect a little of that down.
I should be able to just drag
just a little. Just tap a little of that color
across
right down
this.
to the water. On the other side,
just
right
make it
down.
all blend together.
There. You can make some of the most beautiful reflections in this
But
technique that you've
it
ever
doesn't
seen.
really work, does it?
When I was a traditional painter, reflections were one of those things that absolutely drove me crazy. And in this technique, it may be one of the easiest things that happens. Just come across. But when you
No,
pull
I
this
just
down,
kinda,
oh, so gentle.
yeah.
One hair.
Now it's
isn't
just
that-
smearing.
that gentle, easy. Caress it very lightly, very, very gently. Let's put a few little trunks in our trees. We'll take some white, mix them together. Tiny little roll of paint with a knife. And go up in here. Decide where your trunk lives in the tree. Just touch. Now we're not going to see the entire trunk because we're going to get some lines that protrude out the front of the trunk. So just here and there. You can scratch in an indication. Makes it look like there's a lot of trees there instead of just a few. See? There.
I don't know what I'm
Just
doing
take
at
it
this
straight
point.
right through
I'm
the
just
paint.
dragging
Look like
paint on
little
the
sticks and
damn
twigs
thing.
and all kinds of little things back in the woods there. That's where all my little friends live. A lot of the rabbits and squirrels and all those little characters. I've painted with you before. You know, I have a lot of little animal friends. A lot of times we show them in the program. I'll show you some for the series later. I get a lot of letters in one of the earlier series. I showed a little squirrel that lived with me named Peapod the Pocket Squirrel. He's something else. And now he's an old squirrel. He's just about ready to turn loose. And we turn all of our animals back to the wild. We don't keep them. We don't try to make pets out of them. Okay, let's take a little sap green, a little yellow, make a dark green here. And let's just begin putting some highlights on some of these trees. As you work down the tree, allow it to get darker and darker and darker until it just fades right off into the very dark color. Remember that your light's coming predominantly from the right in this painting. The mountain tells you so right there. So a little more color on the right and on the left. A little bit of indication of the trees. See down in here, keep it very dark. You need a nice shadow.
So at this point, I'm just, I guess, dragging my cursor on the thing just to show you what happens.
Something about me.
So you can have an idea of what the painting physics are like. There are some cool things. Like, what is this? This is it sprays. Let's make a mess. So you can make a nice mess.
So chances are
you can spray your canvas down and it should have a change on the effect. It doesn't have a lot of change on the effect.
A little brown and white.
Let's try my masterpiece. Does anything noticeable happen to it? Not really.
You wouldn't want to bring these straight down like cliffs.
There's this thing.
A little bit of our liquid white.
Which
that'll give us a little water line.
I suppose I need to somehow put paint in it.
All together.
Not sure how you do that.
There.
Maybe like that.
Back in here. Maybe a little ripple here, there, and here. Wherever. Painting is a very individual thing. So when you're doing your painting, you change it any way that makes you feel good. Because we each see nature through different eyes.
How do I load you up?
The way necessarily that you see. I only want to show you a technique that makes painting very easy.
Maybe with a bucket? Let's drop that for now.
I've absolutely never met anyone who could not paint. There. Just take the point of the knife and we've cut a few little sticks and trees and things in here. This also helps show different layers, shows depth in your painting. There, a few over this side.
Oh, that's that. Okay.
Something like that. Sometimes there's a little bush or two that grows down the edges. You can drop them in. Just sort of helps fill everything in. Shoot, I think we're about to the point where we can sign this one. Take a little paint thinner, a little bit of the bright red. Make the paint very thin, almost like ink. And let's go right up in here.
Alright, I think that's paint.
We'll sign this one. I really hope you've enjoyed this painting. It's one that'll bring you a lot of pleasure because of all the colors. Makes you feel good in here. And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting.
No, that didn't do anything. Oops. Pick target 2. Oh, it's loaded with a tube. Okay. Yep. There we go. And yeah, you just spray it on here like so. What else do we got? Let's turn Bob Ross off. That's the gun, that's a camera. I don't think a camera's that interesting. What is this thing? Interesting. It's a cleaner? I think it's for cleaning. It's just a big sponge. And yeah, you have to actually clean up your mess afterwards. Well, you don't have to clean up your mess. I guess you could leave it a mess if you wanted. And that's how easy it is to go back to the original canvas. If you totally screwed the pooch and didn't like what you did. Alright, what else haven't I shown? What is this? Oh, it raises that canvas up and down. That's cool. Wait, what else did it do? Oh! Interesting. There's an elevator here. Ah, that's unique. Did I not clean that? Evidently not. What's over here? Is finished painting on there to send a customer? Canvas printer, mailbox, flower. Some sort of room that I suppose I could decorate with paintings and the like. Yeah, I think... what does the camera do? Steam, maybe? Yeah, so that's how you take your pics, I guess. Okay, get me out of here. There's also a roller. If rolling paint is your thing. And there's the big brush. There's spray paint. So if you want to channel your inner graffiti, go for it. No idea what this is. It's just paint on a wall. Hey, where'd the good brush go? I dropped it somewhere. One would think it would be on the table. Yeah, there it is. Let's add in a little black. What is it? I have no idea. Whatever this thing is, it's something. Wait, the brush is missing again. Is it over here? Yeah. Alright, and the last thing I will do to this thing is I'll pick this up and I will load up what color is not up there? Yeah, teal's not up there. Whatever that animal is, it's gotta die. There, now it's a masterpiece. Anyway, this has been a look at... Actually, let me sell my painting, or send my painting off before I wrap this up. Throw that there, and grab that. Is that grabbed? Is this grabbed? One of these is supposed to grab it. Yeah, there we go. There. If you finish small painting, place it here and send it to your client. Okay. Send painting. Sell marketplace, commissions. Sell on marketplace. Your painting will be put up for sale until it finds its place in the heart of an art lover. Your painting will be sent to a customer and there's no virtual gallery in this training program. Consider taking a photo of your art before sending it. Selling price 100C. Estimated sale within 8 to 37 hours. No, I want it all. I guess 400C is the most. But on sale. There it goes. And yeah, that's this game. It's free on Steam until it's not. This is, I guess, like a demo version or something. And in the future, it will actually cost money, and it probably won't be a demo version anymore. Anyway, I'm James Johnson, aka Sulphur Blade. This is my content. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If so, please leave a like and subscribe, and until the next time, all, peace.